Okay, Sony. I don't did videos of this. This is about the third video today, but I wanted to hear a different perspective on it. And I already done did, like I said, done the videos talking about how crazy this is and what it is. But um, listen to somebody else who got a different perspective. Because again, I don't think the PlayStation 5 Pro is all cracked up to be what it is. But I understand people just like new technology, and if you want to buy games, okay. But it's crazy. I don't know. Something just tell me you missed the mark on this one. Clearly, way again, you don't have the software to push and make me feel like it's worth the price. But let's just see.
Sony has officially revealed the PS5 Pro, ending months of leaks and speculations with an underwhelming 9-minute presentation that saw lead system architect Mark Cerny trying his best to make the console sound much more enticing of an upgrade than it actually is.
That is true. Being that you are so correct about that. Being that it's more than it needs to be. That don't like that doesn't. Mark certainly did. It's a techie thing. I get that. I'm a techie person too, but this just to me it missed the spot. I'm sorry.
A larger GPU, faster rendering, a greater focus on ray tracing, better and more consistent frame rates, and entirely new proprietary super sampling technology in PSSR. On paper, the PS5 Pro sounds like a remarkable step forward, but it has failed to make a good first impression, which in turn is made much worse by the fact that the console is ridiculously priced.
I mean, that price right there is already crazy. So if you want to get the one with the disc, the thing that kills me is like the disc is crazy. That part is crazy. To have the disc is $80. So 700. So that's basically $780. And a regular. I bought mine. I know about my PlayStation. I got my PlayStation for $400. So $400 I got it. Right now they're selling it for like $499 with the disc. I got an old school PlayStation, or the second refresh I should say, before when they forgot all the heating things. And I got a war with it. So that was crazy. The money, a game plus extra control and everything for 400, and I think it was like $430 after everything, price and everything. That's a steal. That's why I remember when I bought it, the lady was like, "Oh, my boyfriend been looking for this all the time," but it's such. I'm like, "Wait, you work in Sam's Club, sweetheart. Why don't you get one for your boyfriend?" But whatever. I digress. But that is a crazy thing there. Oh wait, you got to pay that much. And wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I didn't notice this. Wait, the vertical stand stole separate? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Really, Sony? Really? A piece of plastic now? Literally go back to the old school. We used to say, is it just your favorite piece of plastic? Really? You gotta buy a piece of plastic for the stand? What in the world? Nah, that's crazy.
The PS5 Pro launches on November 7th. Sony will sell it for a price of $699.99, a price that you'd be shocked at if Sony hadn't consistently spent the entire PS5 generation making the worst possible pricing decisions.
Yep.
The base PS5 itself is still an arguably overpriced console, a fact that's exacerbated by the many price increases Sony has implemented for the console itself and its accessories in different regions, and often multiple times like in Japan. Not to
Yeah.
mention, switching to $70 games, having significantly higher
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus subscription prices, selling the
Yeah.
PSVR 2 for a higher price than the console that it launched as an accessory for, or
Dang.
what have you. But even though the ridiculous
That is crazy. So you already know nickel dime me on the daggone plastic and all that stuff, and I was like, wait, hold up, something ain't right here too. Like, wait, the VR is that expensive for what reason? I don't get it. Is that's stupid. And of course, they charge you for the damn shells, which is crazy. Mine's cost $20. I was not gonna spend crazy amount of money for that nonsense. BS is BS. And then, everybody always say like, oh, well, Nintendo is this, and their online is whatever. Again, I would criticize Nintendo's online outings for what it is. I've done that before, and I say because y'all, some of you gamers was telling Nintendo, "Oh, we cool with paying this much money for this stuff." That's y'all fault. It pissed me off, but I like it better again. The Wii, one thing the Wii U had over the the Switch. There's one thing the Wii U had over the Switch. You know, I think, like I said, I've said before, one of the video about why the Switch is the greatest console of all time. Is the online. Was it better together and all that stuff? No. No, it was not. No, I won't say the online. Sorry, it's not the online. It's that I didn't have to flip and pay for my daggone saves. That's what I wish. The save was on my disk, on my SSD. Oh man, effing hell! I'm still pissed off for that. But anyway,
Pricing for the PS5 Pro is depressingly on brand for modern day PlayStation.
which is crazy.
It's still hard not to be
And then the games, you know what I'm saying? Astro, y'all sold Astro for $59.99. Thank God you did. $70.
shocked at the audacity of it. Let's start with the fact for pressingly on brand for modern day PlayStation. It's still hard not to be shocked at the audacity of it. Let's start with the fact for a great many people. The PS5 Pro is already hugely unnecessary to begin with.
Yep.
Close to 4 years into the PS5's life cycle, we're only just barely getting started with this console generation. Cross-gen releases ruled the roost for what seemed like an eternity, and it's only now that we're starting to see developers making games specifically for current-gen hardware on a more
Not a lot of them,
widespread
though.
basis. We're past the halfway point into this console generation, and the PS5 is still struggling to justify its own high price.
Exactly.
To introduce a console that's supposedly a more powerful version of the hardware that is only just beginning to come into its own doesn't seem like a great idea to begin with.
I agree with you on that.
You have no idea. You glorious prey, worthy of Craven. Let me tell you how this is all gonna go down.
But when that mid-gen console refresh is being sold for $700, at that point, to say the very least, it becomes crucial for Sony to have a really convincing first showing for the console.
Yeah.
When we first saw the PS5 Pro, it needed to be with a sort of presentation that would effectively and abundantly convey its vast benefits over the base console. Because at an asking price of $700, that's the standard that the console is going to have to reach. And did the PS5 Pro reveal manage to do that? Well, let's just be extremely polite and say, hell no.
Yeah, exactly.
A significant portion of the 9-minute presentation that saw Mark Cerny unveiling the PS5 Pro was dedicated to showing gameplay footage of titles running on the console while offering side-by-side comparisons with those same games running on a base PS5. Sadly,
Exactly.
much of it was underwhelming. Sure, Gran Turismo 7 looks quite impressive with ray tracing enabled. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart boasts a greater level of detail in the backgrounds, and the prospect of playing The Last of Us Part 2 at 60 FPS with the best possible visual fidelity is an exciting one. But ultimately, what we've seen so far are little more than marginal upgrades in the grand scheme of things, which, to say the very least, is a massively underwhelming way to debut a console that is going to be sold for $700.
Yeah.
The fact that Sony hasn't revealed the PS5 Pro with gameplay footage for any major upcoming title, like Death Stranding 2
Yeah, that would be good because again, even with a Switch OLED, Nintendo dropped Metroid Dread. That does work with the whole OLED changing. Oh, sorry, just with OLED changing everything. Nintendo did a good job on that. At least have something that dropped to make you like, okay, wow, this is what the future can bring. But even that they didn't do.
The beach, for instance, hasn't exactly helped matters, especially because many of the games that we did see, from Control and Horizon Forbidden West to Gran Turismo 7 and The Last of Us Part 2, are cross-gen titles, and maybe not the most exciting picks to show off a hardware upgrade with. These were games that were nowhere close to getting the most out of the base PS5, so to use them to demonstrate what a more powerful version of the console is capable of just seems like yet another in a lost list of poor decisions by Sony where the PS5 Pro is concerned.
Yep. That is true. It's like, oh great, the whole games look good. That's all great, and I'm not against that. But again, take the money and make games. The console is just a piece of plastic without the games. I've said it before. It's like, wait, it's like getting me a Ferrari, and I can't really drive it like a McLaren, and the fastest I could go is 80 miles per hour. Why get a damn McLaren? I need to be in Germany where you have the Autobahn. I could go 200 miles per hour. It's so weird to buy something that's just blah.
Oh, and here's something that's really annoying, even if it doesn't really matter too much in the larger picture. Sony, you're selling a mid-gen console refresh for $700, a decision that in and of itself reeks of either unbelievable hubris, and that $700 doesn't even include a disk drive, by the way, which
Yep.
incidentally is yet another way to send people deeper down the digital rabbit hole where there are no guarantees of permanent ownership, even for
Exactly.
games that you've bought and paid for.
Exactly.
Is it too much to ask that you don't sell the console's vertical stand separately? Because boy, oh boy, talk
Wow.
about nickel and diming.
Jeez, so you guys picked it up too. I didn't even notice it. Really? I'm like, oh my God, Sony, come on. What the hell was that for real? At least you guys picked it up. That is ridiculous. So, like, what is the vertical stand? It's a piece of plastic, but let me just Google it and see. I want to Google the PlayStation 5 Pro vertical stand. See, PS5 Pro. I mean, I don't, $40. Eh, 20. Okay, so the stand is basically $20. Yeah, that's nickel and diamond just for $20. $20. Jeez Louise, Sony, what the hell, man?
This is, of course, a very obvious argument to be made that the PS5 Pro is not meant as a mass appeal device at all,
Yep.
but that it is instead being made for the enthusiasts. There's little
Yep.
doubt that within the specific demographic,
Big
the
dick measuring
PS5 Pro
contest.
is obviously going to do well, regardless of its price. But it's hard not to look at the console and think of it as a waste. A waste because the base PS5 is only just beginning to get its engines warm, which makes it unlikely that anyone is going to do much with the PS5 Pro that's going to be too impressive.
Not me.
And if that's the console that Sony is releasing, the prospect of spending $700 on it also seems like an exorbitant waste.
Yeah, it is.
It's honestly hard to figure out why Sony is even making the PS5 Pro. Unlike the PS4, which was already an outdated piece of kit even when it released, the PS5 still has a great deal of juice left in it that developers haven't come anywhere close to fully
Nowhere
squeezing
close.
out, on account of the incredibly slow start this console generation has suffered. So it's not like there was any need for a more
Well,
powerful
It
console.
was a slow start. It was a good
On
start.
paper, one could argue that the release of a mid-gen console refresh would help revitalize hardware sales for Sony, which is an area where the PS5 has been declining over half a year.
Yep.
But at $700, you have to wonder whether the PS5 Pro is going to have enough mass appeal to be able to do that.
I don't see it.
I'm working on it.
I mean,
Thought I lost you there. Can't get rid of me that easy.
It's
jeez.
next to impossible to imagine anything the console could do that could ever justify that price.
No.
But, if nothing else, one could hope that we get to see upcoming games like Death Stranding 2, Grand Theft Auto 6, and others running on a PS5 Pro sooner rather than later.
Yep.
And that they actually look significantly and meaningfully better than they will
On
on
a
the base
PlayStation
PS5.
5, but nah.
Because that's the level that the PS5 Pro needs to be hitting to come anywhere close to maybe sort of justifying its price tag.
Nope.
Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Bolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop.
Nope. It's not worth it. Like I said, it's not worth it. It's crazy. That's a crazy price for a console that don't do nothing, like nothing at all. That's just BS to me. Again, I got a PlayStation to play some games, and that's what it is. I buy a console to play games. Okay, good. And I've said it in a video before. There's other ways to do immersion, and And that's the problem with a lot of gamers now. Just like I said, Last of Us 4 doesn't make Last of Us Part 2 doesn't make me like, oh my goodness, look at the hair on the hair and blah 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 blah. It make me like, well, the story makes me like no, but it's like, what is this? What is this? Astrobot made me feel like, oh wow, colorful, just pop. Your eyes takes you all over because you just seeing all this color. I got kid in Disney World. That's what that put me to. Jeez, I swear. I don't know. Like I said, Sony just want to be Sony, so let it be what it is. First, the only thing I would tell you, Sony, is fix your damn games. Alright? That's what you need to worry about the most. Fix your blasted games. Give me something to buy the thing. Like I said, now you gave me enough to buy the console. And mostly, and I like people, I'll be this. I never bought a PlayStation. I never had a PlayStation 4. So that's why I'm picking up. I have a PlayStation 5 because of backwards capability. That's why I have it. I'm not gonna lie with anybody. But I am not saying that I have not played. I played Spider-Man. I'm gonna play Miles Morales. I'm gonna play Spider-Man 2 when eventually. Eventually. I have Dragon Quest 11 for PlayStation. I bought it because it was just $20. I was like, okay, on a Switch it's $60, it's $20. I'll go with $20. It's not like a game that make me like got to. No, Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like that. Yeah. I can play it on PlayStation. No, I'm playing it on the Switch. Cause that's gonna be my console, and that's what I'm gonna play it on. But my goodness, man, this is just ridiculous with this nonsense. So, again, to me, I think it's a fail. But including when you're so close to a PC, it's like, why even bother? But again, why not? Why flipping not? So, hey, it is what it is. Remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy games on all consoles, even PC. Whatever it is, the Sony got too as well. Alright, catch y'all later. Again, yeah, this was just so much videos. I just had to post it because it was so much. I'm working, but I'm just like, good grief, there's so much stuff to talk about. So, yep. Peace out.